Hey there everybody, it's Missy again. Thanks for joining me today. I have a new layout to share for the ThermaWeb design team, and I really love how this layout turned out. My assignment was to make a Halloween layout, and I haven't done one yet this year, and so I decided to pull out some of the black Onyx Gina K Designs premium cardstock, and I'm using a really cute spiderweb cut file that Paige Evans designed, and you can find that in the Silhouette store. And I'm going to scrap this really sweet and cute picture of my daughter in her little pumpkin shirt from a few years ago, and I'm going to use some of the Deco Foil in Champagne. It's a really pretty light golden color, and this cardstock is smooth and it comes in 8.5 by 11. It's very thick, and I totally forgot to turn my blade up for a thicker cardstock, and so I kind of had to work at it to get it off my mat here, but it worked out fine. I just had to punch the pieces out a little bit more with my hands than I usually do. But I wanted to stretch this out as big as I could to fit on this 8.5 by 11 cardstock, and now I'm going to jazz it up. This turns out so cool. I'm going to wind up playing around with my backgrounds here in a few minutes, but right now I want to show you something fun that you can do that does not require a laminator. And this stuff here is called the Deco Foil Liquid Adhesive, and it looks like glue, and it basically squirts out of the bottle just like glue. And I'm just smudging some on to the cut file here with my finger, squirting it down and smudging it on. Now the thing I've learned in doing this is you have got to let it dry. It looks shiny and wet, but it's dry, and when it's dry you want it to feel kind of tacky, to where it's not sticky, but it's you know, it's going to kind of maybe stick to your hand a little bit. And once it's dry, you just take the foil and stick it right on top of your paper or whatever it is that you're going to foil, with the foil side up, and then just apply some pressure with your hand and press down and rub it back and forth, and it's going to stick. And when you peel the foil away, it's going to stick to wherever the adhesive is. Now, something I've learned with this is you definitely want a pretty thick coat, and I smudged it on kind of thin in certain places, and so I'm going to wind up going back over this to get more coverage. But this turns out so cool because I wanted it to look kind of splotchy. I didn't want it to be perfect and completely covering up all the black, but you see there how there's some gold in certain places and you can still see the black cardstock. So I'm going to go back over it in some spots and add a thicker layer of this adhesive and let it dry and do the same thing again, and then just smudge it over with my finger. And this is so cool. You could do this with any color foil. You could do this on white cardstock with any shape. You could do this directly onto your background, but this is just something fun I thought I would try and make this look kind of different for my Halloween page. I'm just making sure I get all the areas covered, and this is so neat. Look how cool that looks. It's so shiny and so sparkly, and it's kind of splotchy and messy, and that's what I love about it. You could still tell that it's a black spider web, but it's got lots of gold shimmer on it, and I think that is so fun. So now I'm going to decide, do I want to use white or do I want to use black? And I immediately say, I think I need to use the black cardstock. I love how that looks. And that's some 12 by 12 cardstock from my stash. And this turns out really cool. This is Heidi Swapp Gold Color Shine, and I have not done anything to my background here, but since I've got so much gold going on the spider web, I need to have some on my background. And so I'm just doing what I usually do here, and that's use the packaging technique. I'm just spraying it right onto the packaging and then turn it over and smush it with my hands. And then I'm just going to add some splatters. I'm going to spray directly onto the cardstock. I just want a spray of gold behind where my picture is going to go and behind that really cute spider web, and it shows up super great. I know that's a generic term, super great, but it does on the black cardstock. It's so shiny and so metallic, and it's a perfect match to the gold that's on the spider web there. I love how that looks. I think that looks so cool. I had to just stop several times and just look at how shiny and shimmery this was. Now I thought since she has orange on and this is a Halloween layout, you gotta have a little bit of orange on there. And so this didn't really work out. This is another Shimmers product and it's a colorings. It's a watercolor in a bottle and it's a beautiful color, but since I've got a black background, it just kind of soaked right in and you could not tell that I had even sprayed it, even though I tried to do it a few times. It's just too thin. And since if my background would have been white, I think it would have shown up, but the black, it just sort of soaked into the paper and you couldn't really see. So I moved on to a different Shimmers product, which is called Acrytones, and that is an acrylic paint. And I mixed it with water and then used my brush to splatter some orange around, and that worked out a lot better since the acrylic paint is thicker and it's going to dry on top of the paper instead of soaking down into it, and you can see it a little bit better. And I'm just going to go and work with this for a while because I did want some orange on there, but it does not take away from the gold at all. You can just see some of the orange peeking through the spider web and then around the edges of it. I just can't get over this gold. Look at this gold. And you can see some of the orange. It's dried a little bit. It just gives it a different, a different color back there. Now I'm using the memory tape runner here with some tissue paper from my stash, just to give a little bit of a border behind the picture. And I have not bought a Halloween collection in forever, and so this is from a few years ago. It's the Crate Paper After Dark collection. I think I made 1 or 2 layouts with it when I got it, and then it went onto my shelves, to collect dust like every other collection does after I use it once or twice. So I pulled it out and it was like brand new. I thought, look at all this. I have not used this in a couple years. This is crazy. I need to use it. So I'm going to pull out a couple papers from the 6x6 paper pad to make some layers behind the picture. And I don't want to get too crazy with embellishments or patterns because I want that background and that foiled spider web to really show, because it's the star of this layout and I don't want to create any other distracting areas. And I'm going to distress the edges here just to give it a little ruffle to make it look kind of messy around the edges. And then I decided, I think I need to stitch on this layout. And so I take my pencil and just kind of freehand some lines just so I can see when I put this in my sewing machine. And I'm going to use metallic gold thread and just add a little something extra to the background to echo the gold that I've already got going on, because I thought, this layout is full of gold. I might as well add a little bit more to make the background a little bit more interesting. And there you can see it's not a huge difference, but it's so cool in person, and I think it just adds a little bit of texture. And I know it's so shiny, it's hard to see here with my lights, but it's really, really pretty. Now to raise my picture up, this is another ThermoWeb product. It's the 3D foam squares. They're nice and thick, and they have different sizes and different thicknesses available in the store. And I love those because they really, really add great dimension to whatever it is you're going to use there, whether it's a picture or paper or an embellishment. And then after I stuck those down, I decided I wanted another layer behind the picture of a deeper orange color. And so I'm just going to stick the foam squares right onto that and you wouldn't even know the difference. So I'm going to go ahead and glue down the spider web here, and I'm using ThermoWeb glue here. This is the Mixed Media Adhesive. It's great glue and it sticks pretty quickly and very, very well. Once you use that glue, it is not coming off. Now before I do any other gluing, I'm going to add some more gold. This is my gold thread that I just used to stitch on or stitch with, and it's just it's the $2 and something gold sewing thread from Walmart. It's nothing fancy. It gets the job done though for what I use it for. Now I'm going to play around with embellishing. I pull a couple things from the After Dark chipboard sheet, and I really want to use that owl. I just think it's so cute, and I think it's going to work perfect for this page. So it's going to sit right there for now. This is the sticker sheet, and also have the glitter thickers. And I'm trying to figure out what to add and where to put it, because I thought, well, it's Halloween. She's got a pumpkin shirt on. I probably should put a pumpkin on this layout. And but I just wasn't sure where or what color, to where it wouldn't distract from everything. And I didn't want to do a lot of more covering up of the background because it's so cool. So I decided to make my title underneath the picture, and I'm just going to use these orange and white polka dot stickers from the Cardstock sticker sheet that says happy, and my title is going to be the most generic Halloween title you could have, Happy Halloween. And right now I'm going to use this little black and gold sticker, but I'm going to change that here once I find the puffy stickers. But I really love how this is turning out. I love that the background just looks so cool, and the picture is light, and so it just sort of pops off that dark background. Now here's where I use some of the thickers. I'm going to use all the gold glittery stars. I think it just adds a little, I don't know, I think the way the stars are and the way the splatters and the background, it just sort of looks like an explosion of confetti. You know, there's the stars and there's the splatters. I love how that looks. So I decided I need some more orange. Now this is some more ThermoWeb goodies here, and this is another way that you can get foiled images without using a laminator. These are the Easy-Cut Adhesive Sheets. All you do is peel it off, stick it to something, and stick your foil on top of it, and peel it off, and voila, there it is. Now you can run these adhesive sheets through a punch like I'm fixing to do, or you can run it through your die cutting machine, and you know, you can make a title and you can foil it. Super easy, it's very fast. Now what I wanted to do was create some more confetti little circles. So I just used my confetti punch there right onto this cardstock after I foiled it with the orange. And that orange color is called Sweet Mango, and that is by Gina Designs, also available on the ThermoWeb website. And I'm going to take some time and just glue down these little bitty tiny circles. Basically they're taking the shape of maybe sequins, if you were going to use sequins on a layout. And this is a great way, or an alternative, to create your own kind of sequins. They're circles, they're shiny. It's hard to see right here because the light's so bright, but they look really cool, and they emphasize the orange that I've got going on in the layout. So there's the puppy sticker down there at the bottom. I added Halloween, and I like that it's gold. And I did add a pumpkin thicker there that's got lots of glitter. And I am going to use the owl at the top just because it's cute. And I am going to use my gold foil. That's not a gold foil pen. It's just a gold pen. Drew my lines. I'm going to add my journaling. And I do forget to add the date, but I can go back in and add that later. But there's the final layout. I'm very happy with how this turned out. I really don't feel like my strongest layouts are holiday layouts, but I love how this one turned out. It was a lot of fun to make. I really love the black background. Highly recommend using a dark background. There you can see the sketchy foil on the what is that thing called again? A spider web. I love how that turned out. So cool. And I did not need a laminator for any of that. So let me know. I know that's a lot of product to throw at you, but let me know if you have any questions. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have about any of these products. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.